a lot of upcoming Nigerian artists complain about one thing, and that's payola.
Hey, not just upcoming artists. Every artist complains about payola.
Okay, payola. Everybody, established acts, upcoming acts. First of all, what is payola?
You know what I'll do? I'm going to read from Wikipedia the meaning of payola. Okay. Payola in the music industry is the illegal practice of payment or other inducement by record companies for the broadcast of recordings on commercial radio in which the song is presented as being part of the normal day's broadcast. Essentially what I'm trying to say is payola is paying money to get your records played on the radio.
Okay. Now, like I said, if you listen to a lot of Nigerian artists, they complain so much about payola. Is payola such a big deal in Nigeria right now? Both on TV and radio.
I think it has even moved from just TV and radio to every form in media and even influencing. I mean, there's a bloodline when it comes to influencing. But yeah, payola is termed illegal in the Nigerian broadcasting scene here, right? But it has been an integral part of radio, TV, and generally in media. This is not just in Nigeria. It started in the 50s in the US, and it has just trickled down from then till now. And it's even more complex than what it was when it started. It started as, managers and record label A&Rs or execs meeting radio presenters or DJs at the time to lie about the numbers of times they were playing these records since they were not properly documented, and kind of move from there to people actually overplaying these records because they were paid. And at the time, people weren't really paid with money, people were paid with cocaine or with like prostitutes. Then it kind of just transcended into physical cash. So in the Nigerian context, I know payola has been there for a long time and people have complained about it. And it has become an issue that has been discussed on social media, but there has not been any, effect change, so to say, in terms of, stopping payola or encouraging payola, whatever side you're on.
You've mentioned everything about payola right now. Do you think it's harming the industry in terms of the quality of music we are hearing right now on radio and TV? Or is it just business?
I mean, definitely harming it, because at the end of the day, you want to people create content and submit this content to platforms, right, to distribute or to showcase. And if somebody is, whether it's talented or not, right, kind of blocking the opportunity for other people to have their own content, music, in this case, showcase, then it becomes a problem. Because if you have your show and if you have a show and you have a slot for 10 songs and you end up prioritizing based off people who have given you money to play the records, then you're harming a set of people who also should have equal opportunity to have their records played during that show.
Okay. You mentioned earlier that payola is not a Nigerian thing. It started way back in America in the 50s, rock and roll era. Now, payola is still happening in America. A almost recent example is Jimmy Iovine, the former head of Interscope Records, paying for nothing but a G thing, Dr. Dre featuring Snoop Dogg, to get on American radio. If they could do it and it worked, then what's the big deal? Why we say payola is so bad in Nigeria? Because at the end of it's business. A radio manager will tell you, this is my platform. If you want to get your song here, you need to pay.
Now the question is, does the radio encourage this? Is the radio collecting the money, or is it the DJs and the OAPs that are collecting the money? This is a very big question. Is it structured in a way where the radio station says, you know what, we collect money, right? And it is based off the money you pay, we play your songs. Just like how, jingles and ads work, right? Where you have ad spacing and all that. Is that how music work at this radio station? Fine, if the radio station says that's what they want to do. But if the radio station says we do not encourage payola, we do not want people to pay to have their music played on the radio station, why are the DJs and OAPs doing this in Nigeria? And I know a lot of DJs and OAPs are going to get mad at me saying, hey, I don't collect this, why are you calling me out? But guys, you do collect money. I'm not going to call names here, but more than half, 90% of you guys on radio collect money to play records. In fact, you guys collect money to air interviews, to have people come on your station and play and air interviews. Now, their excuse most times people I've talked with is the radio stations don't pay well. Okay, radio stations are popularly known, notoriously known rather, in Nigeria to owe people months of salaries. So the OAP or the DJ says, you know what, radio station hasn't paid me, I have to leave, I have a job to do. I can play this amount of records for free, but if this guy brings money to me, I'm not going to say no. Different scenarios here. Some DJs and OAPs don't even want to collect money, but people give them money, and it's hard to say no to collecting money when your radio station hasn't paid you or they pay you a shit salary. Do you understand my point here? So you have to, sit in the shoes of these DJs and OAPs to understand the problems going on. Some DJs and OAPs don't even want to collect money. Their managers or the program directors pressure them to collect this money because they have even collected the money and handed a percentage down to them to say, play this record, I got X amount, I'm giving you X percentage of this X amount to play this record.
Okay. You said earlier that we all know that, okay, TV and radio business in Nigeria is very tough. It's very hard for you to make a profit.
Yeah.
The first 4 years, 5 years. But what about online media, the blogs? They're supposed to empower the upcoming artists.
Yeah.
We now have cases of artists saying, this guy is charging me 50K to get a post on his website.
Now,
what went wrong?
Hey. So there's a different context here. Websites charging people to put content up, or are the middlemen charging people to get their songs put on websites? 1 million people send records, right?
Yeah.
To Pulse, to Not Just Okay, to all the big blogs and websites. But who's collecting this money? Pulse doesn't collect the money, right?
Yeah.
To get records. But some platforms do say, you know what, to get your record or your music, showcased on this platform, you have to pay.
Yeah.
And if they clearly state that, then I'm not going to fault any website. So Not Just Okay actually collects money to put their records on the website. It's a viable business and it's their business model, and they've stated it clearly. If you do not want your records to be on the website, then don't pay the money. So I'm not going to fault Not Just Take Care of their business model, since it is clearly stated that to get your content on this platform, you always have to pay. Same way if you want to put ads, you always have to pay, right? And interestingly, they also have a free platform where people can upload their music and it still has like a URL. So shout out to Not Just Okay. For Pulse, you can send your music in. If you want to take it beyond that, right, put it on social, put it on Facebook, blah, 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 there's a business model for that as well. That is clearly different from you saying you do not collect money, then you now have a scale of preference where if people bring money, they pay. People don't bring money, you might not. I mean, people bring money, you showcase their music, and if people don't bring money, you might not even answer them or have them come through the door. Right? So there are two different models for online and offline radio. At the end of the day, you need to ask yourself, are you giving people the opportunity to showcase their talent and music? You heard this guy has some really good stuff. Are you giving him the opportunity? Or are you saying no just because he can't pay you? Most times, a lot of artists can't afford to pay people. We've seen like the Wizkids and co. come from being nobodies, right, to signing to a label and trying to push their music. We've seen so many scenarios and so many. Mr. Easy is a clear example. He tried getting on radio, the whole payola war blocked him, and he tried to do what? He moved online and he became a force online till radio started messing with him. And we've seen P-Square. P-Square never fucked with radio for a long time. They would go to Alaba, have their deals with Alaba, release their music and their videos and their albums on the same day, get a lot of buzz, and the radio would now play their records. So it's been crazy, it's been different, right? But my point is, if you're an artist and you think you don't have money and you've approached, like a lot of people, and they don't want to play your music because you don't have money to play, you have the internet, and the internet is getting stronger by the day. So try to build your fan base on the internet. Try to build your fan base where you know your target audience reside. Is it Twitter? Is it Instagram? Are they on SoundCloud? There's amazing music on SoundCloud that radio doesn't even play. That radio is literally sleeping on because they can't wake up to smell the coffee. Fine, they are going to wake up in a couple of years to smell the coffee, but these guys would have established themselves and already created a fan base. Honestly, some songs aren't even ready for radio. Some artists haven't even undergone artist development. So you have one song that you're pushing around and you have all this money and you pay somebody and they play the song for 1 month and it doesn't do anything. So the dynamics are different. Are you going through artist development? Are you ready to establish yourself with a record label who can handle discussions with the radio station or with the OAP? Everything is different. Pick your poison. Choose what you actually know how to do best. Choose where you know your audience is and how you can actually get to them. If you feel it's radio, then go for radio. If you feel it's on the internet, then go for the internet.
Okay, let's go back to radio and TV. If payola is that bad, how come nobody has done anything about it these years?
I mean, hey man, if people are making money from something, right, we live here. We're in a corrupt system, okay? And if people are making money from something, right, who's going to stop it? I mean, I'm going to get a lot of flack for even discussing this topic. People are going to call me and say, why are you talking about this topic now? What's wrong with you? Do you understand? That's me just discussing this topic, let alone saying, you know what, I want to break down this structure of payola and I want to make sure that OAPs and DJs do the right thing. It is a general problem, not even Nigeria, worldwide. It's deeper than what we see. And to crack payola, man, I don't even know where to start. I don't know what the solution is, honestly.
Last question. Payola is a necessary evil, right? But how do we coexist with it? Knowing fully well that it has stifled Nigerian creativity. We listen to radio and TV, it's almost the same songs that listen over and over again. So how do we coexist with it in this music industry?
I mean, you're right about the same songs being played over and over again, right? You go to your club on Friday and Saturday, listen to all this banging, crazy music, right? Then you you put on your radio station on Monday, and it's the same records that are playing. I mean, how crazy is that? And that's because almost everybody's on a payroll, right? How can we stop this? Is to find other medium where people can actually consume content and is interesting enough, and put pressure on the guys who collect payola to actually play interesting content or to play interesting music. That's the only way. Right now, podcasts are popping off. Music on the internet is so big. I don't listen to radio apart from Classic FM. Shout out to Classic FM, right? A lot of people aren't listening to radio because there's nothing interesting for them to listen to, because the new songs they want to vibe to aren't on radio. Radio will finally realize this. Then we'll go back to look for interesting content to actually play. So it's going to happen in a couple of years. And when it happens, it'll be interesting because we'll be having this conversation again while we're probably listening to the radio or something. Facts on it.